our show. It's so extremely busy backstage today as we have several wonderfully entertaining guests for you to meet, not just for the adults, but also for the children. The very dashing Antonio Banderas is here to tell us all about the much anticipated new Shrek movie, where he has a very fabulous part. And stay tuned because we also have another really big guest. In fact, our biggest guest we've ever had on the show. I won't say any more, but you'll see in just a little while. But now let's meet our first guest. She's been recognized with the highest honors in the industry, including Academy Awards for Sense and Sensibility, the wonderful Howard's End, and more recently, she appeared in the critically acclaimed And Education. This summer, she can be seen in her latest movie, which is Nanny McPhee Returns, which she has produced and written and acted in. So let's take a look at this clip.
I don't need a nanny. I'm managing perfectly well. I have never had a nanny because I don't want a nanny.
I am an army nanny, Mrs. Green. I have been deployed.
No. There must be some mistake. Everything's under control here. That's Cyril. He's not one of mine. He's their cousin.
You parasitic
And that's Norman.
Hands off me!
He is mine.
Indeed.
Please welcome the very talented Emma Thompson, who looks a lot different than in the movie.
Can I live here?
You changed.
I did. I just wanted to be colourful.
You are colorful.
Thank you. You're also colourful. Have you been colour-coded, all of you?
They are.
It's fantastic.
They are requested online when they apply for tickets to wear colorful clothes.
It's
Bright, pretty
very
colours.
uplifting, you see. You forget,
Yes.
don't you, that we all wear dark things all the time.
Yeah. Everybody.
Thank you.
Except for our Joey over here.
Yes, all the crew look
Yeah.
very kind of gothic, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do. They want to be serious,
This
Emma.
is very nice. Do you live here?
Well, it's sort of, yes,
What, if
actually, in
only?
actuality, I do. I sleep elsewhere, but I live here. Welcome.
Thank you.
I've wanted to meet you for so long.
Nice to meet you.
And I admire all your work so much, really.
Thank you.
And Nanny McPhee is a character from a popular children's series. But she
Yes.
wasn't called Nanny McPhee then.
No, they were very odd little books written in the 1950s by a woman called Christiana Brand, and they were, it was just this character in these little books that don't really have stories, but are about very naughty children. And I loved this nanny who was fantastically ugly.
Did you have naughty children?
Yeah, well, my daughter's 10, so she's just about to turn into literally
The naughty
living
child.
devil. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? I can feel it coming. It's like a juggernaut approaching me, you know, and I keep saying to people, what happens? What do I do? What do I do when she becomes a
Ignore it.
teenager? You know,
Ignore it.
well, yes, I suppose so.
Always be mom.
Always be mum and ignore
Always
it.
be mom, yeah. So
that
what's the
down.
premise of the new film? I mean, it's the second film.
Yes, it's the first one was set in sort of 1850 and was about the absent mother, the mother having died through childbirth, which is very common, was very common in those days. This next one is set 100 years later, during the Second World War, where it's the father who's absent because he's fighting.
Piece of poor.
So it's really, in a sense, it's about being a single mum with lots and lots of children, and suddenly more children turn up because you get evacuees and they hate each other.
And Nanny is a very unattractive woman. You made up. How long did your makeup take?
Not long enough.
Look at her with one tooth.
It's just so upsetting. You'd think it would take hours to make me look like that, and it actually takes slightly longer to make me look like this. But there you go. About an hour and 15 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
They're very clever.
Yes, makeup artists are. And so we thought that since Nanny actually has a lot of duties, and I don't know if her culinary skills were great, were they?
Do you know, I've never gone into that.
Oh, well maybe
but
next.
if there's
maybe
another one, I'm going to go into eating and cooking, because I think one of the lessons, you know how she teaches lessons?
Yeah.
One of the lessons I want to make it about is about everyone eating together, because I'm passionate about...
I'll style the food for you in the movie, okay?
All right,
That's it.
styling.
I've always wanted to style food in a movie. But you have to let me make really good food.
Yeah,
Yeah, really
absolutely.
pretty food.
Well, it's going to be set, I think the new one might be set here in New York,
Yeah,
so it might
well,
be perfect.
perfect. You can
We
use-
could have just a streamer underneath, food styled by Martha Stewart, all the way
Exactly.
through,
Yep.
which would be
That's
great.
unnecessary. But so I thought I'd show you how to make these little tarts.
Oh, thank
which
you.
all little children would love, right? Oh. Well, you can have one when we finish. But have you made pastry cream? You're a cook.
I am a cook, but oddly enough, my father used to run a tea rooms and was a very good baker. And I think baking is a very different skill
Then
to cooking.
Yeah.
Don't
it
you?
is. Oh, yeah.
Because you have to have a
Totally.
real feel. Do
Can
want
you
me to?
whisk? Yeah, whisk those up. Those are eggs. So we're using
Yolks,
6 egg
just the
yolks,
yolks.
and 1½ cups of whole milk and 1/2 cup of cream. And now we're just going to temper the egg yolks with the hot liquid.
Which will thicken them slightly, won't it?
Well,
I mean,
well,
in
it
the
will
end.
when you add all those other things.
Right.
You know, you have to add. So and by tempering, you're just warming the egg yolk so you don't overcook them.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
when you add these other things, so you can add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Or 2, excuse me, 2 tablespoons.
Two
Yeah,
of
just dump that in.
cornstarch. Okay, which makes it really.
Yep.
Listen to me,
And
I sound,
the
I'm
flour
trying to
too.
pretend I'm a pastry here.
Now you add the
Flour.
We're making a crème pâtissière.
Okay.
That's the filling. And a pinch of salt and 1/2 cup of sugar.
Okay.
So you can just
Okay.
mix that all in. And then we're going to put that back into the
there.
remaining hot milk. Yes.
How much hot milk is in there?
Well, 1½ cups of whole milk and 1/2 cup of cream.
Ooh.
Yes, so just pour that back
Okay.
in. And we'll just raise the heat. See, nice. Very professionally done. And now you must stir with a
Yeah.
whisk. And you just cook this until it thickens.
Yeah.
And as soon as you see it, let me just turn that up a little bit for you.
I've never cooked on telly before.
Ah, well, here you go. She could do anything,
pressure,
by the way.
obviously.
But,
Oh, it's going all frothy.
yep. So you wrote the story.
I wrote it, yes.
Yep. And did you direct too?
No.
Oh.
Go on,
Okay.
you know. I haven't got your energy, Mark. Oh, it's
And-
thickening, it's
yes.
thickening. Well, that's
See what's happening?
exciting. Look.
Yep, don't let it curdle.
Okay.
How thick do you think it is?
Well, it's not
should-
going to do the back of a
should-
spoon yet, I don't think.
You have to just, so
Yeah.
it's almost, I would say,
Yeah.
we can put that through the strainer.
Through the strainer now?
Yeah, put that through.
So that's very quick.
Okay, there. Put that
How
in.
interesting.
Yes, it's
I
like
had no
magic.
idea that it did it so
And so
quickly.
children would love cooking lessons. You know that.
Yes, actually, my daughter made gnocchi recently,
Oh, how fantastic.
which she then said she hated. She didn't like them because, you know, they're
gummy?
difficult things to make. A bit gummy.
Oh, yeah, well, then she didn't make them quite right.
No. Shall I stir that in?
Yes.
With this?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
So let that cool. And as
Okay.
it cools, it gets even thicker. And now we're going to make the dough for the little tart shells.
For the little tart
And this is an
things.
odd dough because you make it right in the mixer. 2 sticks of cold butter and 1/2 cup of sugar,
All right.
and that's already creamed. And then we
Okay.
add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I don't know why it's only 1/8. I like a little bit more. And 2 cups of all-purpose flour.
Okay.
So this is not a Cuisinart pastry. You don't have to worry about cutting it in,
No, right.
overworking it. 'cause
And you
it's-
don't need to, because pastry, I think, is a very mysterious.
this is not the more flaky kind. This is, and then once this is mixed and the butter is incorporated, you see it's coming together well. Then you chill that mixture
In the
for
fridge
an
for-
hour or so,
right.
and then we will form the tarts. But there, I think that's about done. Don't overdo it.
It's so quick.
Yeah, see how easy?
Yeah.
Everything can be easier than
Than you
it once was. I mean, you should sit there and do this with your fingers.
Absolutely.
And
I used to make pineapple tarts with both my grandmothers cooked
Oh,
beautifully,
really?
actually.
Oh.
My grandmother made something called rock cakes,
Oh, what
which
are
sounds
they?
unpleasant,
Wow.
and were in fact quite painful if you threw them hard at someone.
oh, but what are they made out of?
They're,
Fruit?
No, it's a pastry
Oh.
with cinnamon and spices, and I don't know why they call them rock cakes. I know why, because they look like little
Little rocks?
bits of rock.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were famous in my family.
So
They were-
see that?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels good. And that will be, we'll roll that out and make little tart shells.
Okay. And you've got a little tin.
And it tastes good. When we come back, we'll finish the lovely tarts. Don't go away. Yeah, easy.
Coming up, Martha talks to Antonio Banderas about his latest movie and so much more. Stay tuned.